So I started my working life as a business analyst, working in very operational areas and solving operational problems. And over my course of 25 odd years of working, what I found is that as every job that I did, every step that I took and progressed in an organisation, I wanted to get closer to the strategic decision making. And an understanding why we made decisions. And that's what led me to thinking about sitting on a board, because I wanted to be where the decisions were made. And, cliched as that might sound, I wanted a seat at the table and actually provide my perspective on things. I found that I did work with a lot of boards, and I still do, that we were looking at a little homogenous, I've got to say, and being able to have a different view and a different background has made things, I think, more interesting at a board level. So I found over the years, when I first started working in organisations, and a lot of large organisations, it was honestly very hard to see some difference in the decision making. I don't want to presuppose that there was groupthink, but there was a lot of similar kinds of decisions and not as much challenge as I would imagine that would happen at a board. And over the years, seeing more women on boards, there is definitely a difference in tone of the conversation and different considerations being made at a strategic level and in considering risk. The willingness to challenge, I think, is something that we need to see more of in boards, where it's respectful challenge. It's not meant to be adversarial in a setting like a courtroom. I think having a diverse opinion on boards and actually pushing the thinking into spaces like creativity and innovation are really important to challenge and improve any organisation, or in fact any group of people, because same gets you the same. It might get you a little better, but that leap, that concept of innovation is not just about little improvements. So I've sat on boards for not-for-profit organisations, for very small volunteer sporting organisations, all the way through to large corporate organisations which have a lot of eyes on decisions that are being made. The boards that I must say that I find are the most effective and best well run, even at that senior level. The level of commitment and care about the people they are making decisions for is what makes that so positive. And so when you think about sitting on a board, that is a step that requires vulnerability, to be brave and to have a voice at a table. Particularly as a female, we would tend to want to know more before we speak. And I know that's sort of a thing that I felt in past years, where I've needed to be more knowledgeable than other people in the room to be able to have an opinion. And what I've also learned is that over that time, I don't need to be the most knowledgeable person in the room. Just having an opinion and being able to rationalise that opinion and talk about the different aspects of that opinion is good enough. And that gives me the confidence to then say, I actually want to say something about this, and be willing to be challenged by that. It's not an easy experience to choose, and there are many ways to get there. So, I wouldn't say that I've done all the traditional things that would get me a seat on the board and, the little name tag that says you're a board member. It's my collective experience in working in many different environments with many different people and many different situations that has allowed me to feel that I can sit on a board comfortably on any board now and be able to provide some positive input and challenge. Because there are many ways and many paths to getting the confidence to sit on a board. Seek out mentors. These are people that will need to stretch and challenge you in different ways, whether it's in a personal sphere or whether it's in a professional sphere. The second one I would say is get some learning on that experience. What are the things in your toolkit, in your baggage, that will help you become a better board member, a better chair? Whether it's doing a course, I've done a formal course, but I've also spent a lot of time working with executives and understanding, how do we interact in a board situation? What are the rules around it? So as a realist, thinking about boards in 10 years, we will still be having a gender conversation, we will still be having a diversity conversation. But what I would hope to see is that the conversation is more nuanced, not just a black and white. Yes, we want more women. Oh, we want more young women. We want more of these. It's more nuanced around what is valuable for this board. And that's the kind of decision making that would be preferable. And I'm hopeful that that's where we get to in 10 years. The change and the acceleration of that change, I think we've hit a tipping point. And I think it's important to keep that momentum going. You know, that flywheel might be slow, but it's starting to move. And, you know, you would hope in 10 years, and I would hope to see before the end of my working life, that the conversation around diversity in boards is about what's of value rather than, you know, as simple as a male, female, or someone of a diverse background.